So welcome to GraphQL with Angular and Apollo. In this course you will be learning how to build up a full stack web application which is GraphQL based. This means we will be implementing the server, providing a GraphQL backend, and then we will be setting up an Angular front-end web application which is making use of this GraphQL backend. So this course is for you if you want to learn how to build up such a full stack GraphQL based web application and you want to use Angular as your front-end technology. This course is designed for people who want to implement and learn how to set up a GraphQL server with Node.js, Express, and the Apollo server package on the backend side. And this course is also for people who want to get to know how to set up and implement a multi-component Angular web application at the front-end side, which then makes use of the GraphQL backend. This course is also for you if you want to gain a profound understanding of the GraphQL query language and you want to learn how to write GraphQL queries and mutations. We will cover that in a separate section. This course is covering also the topic of how to integrate the Bootstrap framework in your front-end application to make it look nice and implement an easy-to-use user interface. And finally, this course is covering GraphQL. We will give you an introduction in how to use GraphQL, which is an in-browser IDE for testing out your GraphQL-based API. And you will be using GraphQL to write queries and mutations and make sure that the backend is fully working before we are then starting in the front-end part. So, real quick, a few things about myself. My name is Sebastian Eschweiler. I'm a full-stack web developer and software architect for about 15 plus years now. I'm specialized in that field in front and backend development, and I'm using Node.js, Angular, React, Vue.js, and all sorts of JavaScript-based libraries in my projects. I'm now teaching web development for over 3 years, and I'm running codingthesmartway.com, which is a blog teaching you latest web development technologies. And I'm also running the corresponding YouTube channel. You can find the URL here as mentioned on that slide. So if you want to start out with that course, you should already have a basic understanding of a few technologies. So first of all, there is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It is required that you have already a basic understanding of what HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is, so that you have made, for example, your first experiences in web development, so that you know how HTML, CSS, and JavaScript is working together and how those parts fit into a modern web application. You should also have a very basic understanding of Node.js, Express, and maybe some Angular experience. This is a plus. It's not mandatory because we will be going through the steps which are required to set up Node.js server and the Angular application from the very beginning. So you will even be able to follow if you have no experience. But if you have a basic understanding in both fields, it makes it a little bit easier for you to understand how our full stack application is being set up and how everything is fitting together. Another thing is having some basic MongoDB experience is also a plus. If you have not been working with MongoDB so far, we will cover the basics in that course, which is sufficient for covering what's needed for setting up our example, but we will go not into the details here. So what's included in that course? You will find 10 sections included in that course with over 45 lectures. We will be building a complete GraphQL, Node.js, and Angular full stack project from scratch. By following the lectures in that course, you will start right at the beginning, and at the end you will have the full stack project running. The project is a real world project, so that you can then later on after that course immediately start to implement your own GraphQL and Angular based full stack project. Furthermore, you will find all the code which is implemented with every section included, so you can download that code and run the project by yourself. In addition, all the presentation and graphic files shown in the lectures are included for download as well. So you can see you will get really great content with that course.